This is so weird because I'm not used to being on camera like this. And recording.
I'm not used to talking to a camera.
I know that's the thing. It changes. Like, the podcast is different because we just talking to each other.
Right. So like, with the video.
So me and Marlon decided that we are going to have like a commentary channel on top of the podcast because why not? So today we have this video by Jubilee. I thought it was a great video. I sent it to Marlon earlier and was just like, bro, we should record like us watching this video. And it is of, I already said it once, but it's Jubilee. Do all black men think the same? And as black men, that's me and you.
Right.
I'm trying to see if we think the same. Because me and Marlon think.
So you got a tad. He lying.
I'm not going to lie, I be saying nigga a lot.
It is. Like, you oh, okay, Childish Gambino, I can see that. Jordan Peele, okay, I can see that.
Think the same?
Literally.
Yeah.
I am expected.
If you want to pause, just pause. Yeah, what's up?
There's different shades of black men in this video, so we have a lot of diverse. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just read the question. Yeah. All right, but you can play.
To have a big dick. 3, 2, 1, go.
What you think? That's what I was thinking. I was literally about to say the same thing. I was like, what you think? Honestly, bro, even based off of like recent, like very recent, like last couple weeks, basically she was surprised that the black kid that she was watching like had a larger.
Yes, I feel like I was there, or I heard about it.
Yeah,
story from this.
And basically, I'm just sitting there. I'm not even in the conversation. And now, and all of a sudden, this question, the question comes up, and I'm just like, why are you asking me? Like, I don't want to talk about this.
Oh, they asked you?
Yes.
Why are you acting weird to me?
Like, I didn't ask for this. I did not hop in the conversation. I don't know why they thought that I would have an answer for that.
Like, so do you have, so like,
and granted, this is the first time, see, this is the bold, I know we ain't even talking about that, but this is just the boldness of some people. Because it's like, why would you even bring that up to me?
It is a weird thing because I feel like I strongly agree that people
expect
it.
Yeah.
And I at least agree. Oh, I need this. So I've seen on TikTok multiple times where it's like, you know, girls be like, yeah, you know, I need this. If you this, it ain't gonna work. But lately I've seen girls be like, you know, smaller is better. It's smaller for some. I wouldn't say for, you know, some people might think, you know, 6 is not.
That's a different conversation.
That is a different conversation. Whatever. But do you struggle? Yes. Is it weird that they asked you that? Yes.
Yes.
Do I think that people expect it? Yes. So I'm surprised that person was surprised.
Let's see what they got to say. Yeah, they going to strongly. Yeah.
Nobody disagrees. Yo. Yeah, I feel like it's a stereotype. And we know that stereotypes aren't realistic, but I mean, personal encounters, I don't feel like there's leeway. I feel like, okay, that one we're keeping. Like, that's what the general notion is.
I think it gets into the issue of positive and negative stereotypes and how people need to realize that there is no such thing, because what you do is you put people into a box where they're expected to live up to a standard. And I feel like it's over-sexualizing black men, you know? You should want to date someone more for the pleasure physically that they can bring to you. And I know I've talked to people personally who will be like, oh, you're lucky you're black, you have a big member. And I'm like, well, I have other things to offer too. Like, I'm well-spoken, I have a good sense of humor, I'm well-traveled. Like, you go straight to like what's underneath my zipper.
And that's what's crazy, because they don't say none of that.
Although, I will say, very recently, I talked to, there was somebody that told me I have a nice speaking voice recently. I'm not gonna lie, wonders for my self-esteem. Wonders.
See?
Wonders. Men need more compliments. Compliment your men. For real. Because I don't hear it enough. And that's not even a compliment like that was about like me physically. It was just something that I didn't even know about myself that I liked until somebody told me.
Oh, you were so articulate.
Okay, don't say it like that. don't say it like that.
It is weird because there is a lot of people out here that says, "Oh my goodness," like, you know, or with a man because of a certain thing like that, or like, even not talking about this specifically, it could be like just a black man is like, "Oh, you gonna make some pretty babies," or "Oh, this, this," or it's not like, "Oh man, he's so nice." I'm not saying everybody's like this. I'm just saying some people. It's just like, "Oh, he's very nice. He's very sweet. He has a good speaking voice. Like, he's funny. Like, he's caring. Like," and the other stuff could come later.
I've been fat for a while, and so I've been told I'm funny a lot.
Say it.
It's just like,
say it.
If I ain't got nothing else, I'm funny.
Facts.
I just feel like, and I'm not saying all fat people. That's another stereotype. I'm not saying all fat people gotta be funny, but what I am saying,
we gotta have something.
we gotta have something.
Yeah, I mean, that's been my experience a lot of times, especially, you know, meeting different people. That's the expectation. And I just tell them, 2-inch Punisher, you know? Don't expect too much. I'm just joking, but it's
No, that's funny. Hey, I like that dude. He's funny. He's funny.
That's people's approach now.
It is, though.
Because your expectations is low.
Yeah.
Because if he tells, if he does, that's him. Whatever. But, you know, people just be like, "Oh yeah, you know, what do people say, like 2-meter defeater or something like that?" but people underestimate themselves just so they'd be like, "Oh, you know, that's fine," and then they'd be like, "Oh, so I thought you said this." Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to just overextend yourself.
I think a lot of people watch a lot of porn too, and that's where it comes from. Like when you watch a lot of porn, you see, you know, these mandingos and, you know, 10-inch monsters, and they expect that to be reality, and a lot of times it's not, but that's the expectation that they have. So
our audience submit hot takes about this group specifically,
and
they are hot. So black men cheat on their significant others far more than other races.
Wow.
I'm just like, where is this study published? Did someone do some research where they calculated numbers over a given?
First off, black men don't cheat.
Facts.
Second off,
ain't never cheated.
Hey, y'all, who did this poll?
Hey, we got a bunch. We done asked 100 men.
Who cheats on their significant other the most?
Like, it's different if you said, "Oh, men in general."
Like, well, because that's already been specified,
but
right?
you said,
But the fact that they just
black bitch.
It is okay,
more.
but to be fair, they did say it's a hot take. That is a very and that is spicy.
Boy,
that is heat.
Boy.
Period of time.
The reason why I was going to be neutral is because I don't know the numbers. Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like,
true or not.
I disagree.
Yeah. So I came this way because of the keyword "far more." I was like, do black men cheat? Generally, like you're not apt to not cheat because of the color of your skin.
To prescribe this to race feels nefarious in a way that I feel like it was coming from a place of somebody that got cheated on by a black man. Like, it was like, yeah, black men cheat all the time. Come on, this doesn't even make sense.
Black men are attracted to big butts.
Is it?
What you think about that?
Nah, what you think about it? That ain't bad. That ain't bad.
Listen, I like a lot of things in this world.
Go ahead, tell us about them.
That's all I'm gonna say.
All right. Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna keep it a stack, a thou, a Billy Wow.
Billy Wow.
I do appreciate a little. I do appreciate a little junk in the trunk. I do. I look when I'm looking at. I'm just saying, physical attraction is the first thing. I'm not saying this for everybody. I'm not saying that. I don't even think this is a hot take. Maybe. Oh, they said black. I guess because it's specifically black people.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't stop me from not like. That doesn't stop. It doesn't stop there. Right. It's just like a bonus. That's a bonus for me.
I mean, I'm always around black people all the time. Mm-hmm. So that's just because I'm black. So
makes sense.
I mean, do I see a lot of? Yes, I see a lot of black men attracted to women with big butts. That's just kind of what it is. Mm-hmm. I don't know about the races. I don't know if it's what they think, but because I'm around black men all the time, and I am a black man. That's just kind of what I'm accustomed to, like black men, liking women with big butts. That's just
No, I agree.
Do we agree with that statement, or do I personally?
I don't know about strongly.
I mean, there's nothing biologically innate to like black men to like ass.
I think it ties into hip hop and the whole strip club scene right now. We are so far gone from like the natural aesthetics of just a natural person that right now it's all about who has the baddest ass. Who ass is 25 pounds with 2-pound legs. You know what I mean? Like that's hot for some reason. And I personally don't get it. I mean, it looks unnatural to me, but I mean, a nice ass is just a nice ass though.
Bro, black people are funny, and if you ever try and roast one of them, they will roast your ass so hard that you'll have no roast to rebuttal.
I don't know how to adjust that.
I get what he's saying. I think
how do you even that wasn't the question though. The question, why I say bro at the beginning?
Yeah, that was, I don't know, and then they didn't put the whole thing. Because if it would have just said black people are funny. Because it said black people are funny.
Right.
I don't really find that as a hot take.
Yeah. That is,
this
is what I mean about Jubilee. They're just weird, the things that they say in the topics. It's just like that, bro. Black people are funny. Like I don't even think the last one was really a hot take.
And then why? Hold on, no, because now I gotta see why the homie in the red strongly disagrees that black people are funny. Like unless he gonna say like everybody can be funny. It's like, yeah, but is it untrue that black people are funny? I think it's very rare that I find a black person that I've met and talked to that isn't funny.
Right. And we're not even saying like nobody else.
I'm not saying you gotta go do stand-up comedy.
Right. But it's just naturally like black people are just funny. Just the things that they do, the things that they say, the things that they act,
the experiences that they've had that are different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I think that black people are funny. I didn't say black people are funnier. I'm just saying that black people are funny. I don't think that that's necessarily crazy. Everybody in my family hilarious.
I agree.
I just want to see what they say. Yeah, go ahead.
Black people as a collective are funny.
If you go to black Twitter, if you go to black Instagram, black Facebook, like you're going to laugh.
So I think that in that aspect, that's why like that statement has so much truth in it, because it's like.
So I guess it's like the question is like, black people as a whole, are they funny? Or is like any black person gonna knock your ass off because he's super funny? Like, I think that's just the difference.
Yeah.
Black people as a whole, like, yeah, they got jokes, it goes back and forth, cool.
That's why I said as a
But
collective.
don't think that any black person you go to expect like a really good joke,
The N-word should stop being used by all races. 3.
What you think?
That's tough. Because could I okay, so if it tomorrow, right? Say it just became illegal to say, nigga. Could I stop saying it? Could I take it out of my vocabulary? Yeah. And it wouldn't really affect me to the point to where I'm just I'm online, I'm just itching bro. I'm just trying I gotta hide it. It's not gonna change my life drastically because I could take it out and I have tried to there was a point in time where I was around more people who I could see were visibly uncomfortable with me saying it, so I was doing it I was trying to do it less or say it less, and I found myself saying it less.
Right.
But overall, who's asking should it be stopped by all? Who out here really? Who the most people who be most upset about not saying it? You take a word that's been used derogatory for all this time, and now we actually just use it just casually. And it's using, yes, I understand it's using rap music, it's using this and that, and I understand all that. But it's that's our word.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just
it's our word to me.
Do I care about the word? No.
Yeah, like I said, if I couldn't use it no more, if it never existed, okay, cool. But
right, but even if you said, "Oh, I don't think nobody should use it if we can't use it," because that's the only reason why this question is posed.
Because we can.
Right.
We is mad.
We is mad.
Let's say
mad.
We is
mad. So we can't use it. Why do they get to use it? nobody should use it because I've had a conversation with someone.
Yeah, sure.
With a friend.
And you can argue that. Yeah, you can argue
and they
no
were
one should
just
use
like,
it. Yeah, that's fine.
She was like, I don't think. Well, they were like, I don't think nobody should use it.
I don't think anybody's less black for not using it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I don't have an issue with that at all.
So, but I just feel like if you're mad about like black people using the N-word,
We is mad.
yeah, it's weed, not us.
Not us. We.
If we is mad,
Then I don't.
then it's what
I'm not worried about it. I'm not. Yeah.
3, 2,
What's the weird
1,
thing?
go.
Interesting.
It's hard. I just think the N-word, when you look at the root of the word, even slaves would use it to describe other black people when accepting their supposed oppression. So I just think, when I think about that, I don't think you can do anything to erase the history and the blood that's been shed on that word. There are so many people who the last thing they heard was the N-word as they were being murdered. So when I think about that, yes, I think the word should stop being used.
Personally, I feel like it kind of starts with us. The fact that we make it so cool within music and within like entertainment that it lets other people feel like they have a pass or that it's okay because my favorite rapper said it, or I heard it here, or you guys say it all the time. How come I can't say it? But at the end of the day, it's black culture pain. And if anyone's going to be using it, it should only be us. And that's it.
You can't really own a word. I think, we can own it in the sense where it's a black cultural thing, but the idea where we kind of make it out to where we say like, oh, other people can't say it. I think that's more of like a insecurity within the black culture of not being able to hold power, because historically, it's like, right, historically, black people didn't have as much power, so we're trying to hold on to literally a word that only has meaning because we add meaning to it.
I mean, respectfully, I ain't trying to hear that, right? Like, I feel like the only reason it's policed so much, and I feel like the only reason we even have like this debate or this debacle over whether we can use it or not is because we're black people. And I'm not one of those people that think everything is racist and all that, but in this specific instance, right, in several instances, women in many instances have reclaimed the word bitch to be a term of endearment. There are...
that is crazy.
That's a good ass point.
In the 90s, there was heavier women reclaimed the word fat, obviously respelling and things like that. But I feel like in those instances, nobody bats an eye. Why is that understood? But with this, it's so confusing. Like, oh, I don't know if like, when there are boundaries set. And that word is one of the boundaries that I think we have respectfully and rightfully set up for ourselves. So I don't want to, I'm not trying to hear the like, if we use it, why can't it? We do that all the time with a bunch of different things. And I don't think this should be one of the areas where we're like, yeah, let everybody say. No, I'm not.
Well, I think it goes back to where you're saying boundaries. Because when you break down to inner communities where, blacks and Asians, blacks and whites in hip hop culture, where there's like, it's 5 group of friends and their black friends don't care. They're like, say it. Like that happens. It's true. It's like, we're having this broad conversation.
How many white friends you got to say it?
Oh, shoot.
Out them right now. Say their names. Larry, Joseph, Bobby.
I didn't have friends that said it in high school. Like, if somebody was quoting somebody, they would say it. But they wouldn't be like, oh, what's up? Like, they wouldn't say that. They would just be like,
they were like quoting a song or like
yeah, if they were like it was like a comedian, or if you was somebody like, so this dude in the hallway, tell me about this dude in the hallway was like talking to this white dude, right? This black guy was talking to this white guy, and he was just like, bro, you act like a crazy right now. Like,
that's still,
listen,
that's, I just feel
I'm saying if they were telling the story about
yeah.
So that, I don't know, but they wouldn't say it. It's at least one time I know that it was like only one person was like telling a story or tell us about something and like repeating what somebody said.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Like I personally didn't care because I knew the type of guys I was hanging out with, and I was like, I know y'all wouldn't like just be like.
I have made a lot of people, not even just white people, pretty much every race that I've ever dealt with, always feel comfortable around me to be able to say it.
All right.
Is that my fault? Probably. I make people feel comfortable. Am I always comfortable with them saying it? Absolutely not. How many times have I outed people for it?
0. Exactly.
So can I be mad that they're using it? No, because I've never told them different. But I know, but here's my only thing. I know for a fact that the people that I know that say it, even still today, would not go say it to other black people they did not know. And that's what I'm saying. That's the thing. If you're gonna say it, say it. If you're gonna, and that's it. If you're gonna say it, but say it to everybody.
Right.
Even if you quoting, even if you just say it.
Because don't just say it to
because
me.
if you just say it to me because you're comfortable around me, then I mean you should just say. I mean you shouldn't be saying.
That's true.
And you know, I know all of us aren't trying to be the spokespeople for Black people, right? But it's like it's such a convoluted, I guess, topic where it's like the expectations aren't clear to people depending where you're at. If you're on the East Coast, West Coast, like it's very unclear. That's what I think. I'm not arguing whether or not it's okay to say it or whether white people should say it. I'm just saying if we don't want white people to say it, I think it needs to be very clear. And I think even in fact in this new age of our culture, I think we're seeing more people saying we don't want white people to say it.
Homophobia is a big issue in the Black community. 3, 2, 1, go.
What do you think? Because I feel like somewhat it is. Not in my home.
Yeah,
but
in my personal
but
life.
I feel like I like just even if you watch TV shows and watch all these things, let's use white people for instance, right? I feel like they are more, not saying that everybody, but I feel like they are more accepting of my kid is gay, this person is gay, or you know,
okay,
then black people, because black people just like because a lot of black people are very spiritual, and very spiritual and religious, and they're like, no, that's not right that you're doing that. No, stop. That's
yeah.
I would think that they would be taken back if I came out.
Yeah,
and be like, oh yeah, I'm gay. Which I'm
also because you're married.
I am married.
That would, to a woman. So that was.
I was like, yeah.
So it would be weird if you came out now.
Right.
But
so.
Yeah. No, and I think I forgot who it was, but there was someone recently where he was just like, I forgot where I saw it, but he was like, he told his dad he wanted to do something, and he was just like, why would you want to do that? Like that's gay. And I think it was like dance or like sing or something. I'm just like, neither of those things are inherently gay. So like that why such a weird thing. But then the dude was black, and so like I didn't really think about it then, but now they asked this question, like. Maybe it is a bigger thing than it is. I don't know. I don't know if I could say that it's a big issue, but I'd say the issue is big enough.
Right.
And I also think it comes from religion because I don't want to get too controversial with that, but people are very religious, especially in the Black community, Christians and when you talk about the Bible, they say, homosexuality is a sin. So a lot of people have that ingrained in their mind. This is absolutely not right. And for a lot of people too, when they see a man, they want to see a manly man, and they associate that with being straight.
Heterosexual men have a fear that homosexual men will treat them how they treat women, if that makes sense. And so they're afraid of that treatment. And I'm on somewhat agree because I'm rather torn. I think I've lived a life where I'm around very open-minded, inclusive people. So I'm not sure how big of an issue it is in the community. But I know that in the Black church sphere, homosexuality is often made out to be the worst thing that you can be. There's almost nothing worse than being gay. And I think that's also where some of the homophobia comes from. We like to ignore all the other sins, all the other things that the Bible outlines that are not, holy.
Just to pause, that's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true. I grew up going to a predominantly Black church, and there's way more like scandal and stuff that's happened, but like you gay, like if somebody was gay, that's a bigger deal than anything else.
That is crazy. That is the biggest thing.
Yeah, that is weird.
Like, oh, you be gay is worse than anything about you can kill somebody. No.
Like Pastor sleeping with somebody else.
This Johnson out here,
And now
and he married,
but
that's not wrong.
what's also being gay is
Nah, it's
now
gay.
they gotta lead the church.
Right.
That's weird.
So it is weird. And
Actually, not even just a black church. I saw it was in a white church where there was people they got kicked out of a church, out of the youth group, because they thought she was gay.
Yeah.
She wasn't even gay.
And then we just take homosexuality and we make it the worst. You know, granted, the Bible says it's an abomination. I get that, but the Bible says any sin will send you to hell. So
You can't be pro-black and date a white person.
Oh, shoot.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, shoot.
Hey Marlon. Hey Marlon.
No, I don't know what you're talking
I just randomly thought of this. This has nothing to do with the video.
Okay.
Except it has everything to do with the video. What do you think about this?
If y'all didn't know, I am married to a white woman. I've said it multiple times on our podcast. If you know me, you should know. I get it. I can be pro-black,
Right.
but some people think, oh, you can't be pro-black because you are with a white person.
Dr. Umar is so upset with you right now.
Out and about right now.
He's looking. He felt that when they said that question.
He looked at with the face. What's the face he done?
My brother.
He just. Yeah, some people think pro-black is everything black. You married a black woman or man.
Mm-hmm.
You support the black community. You do this. You do this. You do this. And I do all those, except for I am with a white. I am with a white woman. Is that because I don't like black people or the black community? No, it's because that is who I fell in love with.
Exactly.
That's just what it is. Like I forgot. So I was watching Abba and Preach, and they were kind of talking about this because Preach is married to, I think, a white woman, a white woman, and he was pretty much like you could be pro-black, but it was like something that he said as of like because he was like, I don't say nothing because people are going to be like, I try to stand up. Or I try to do these things, like you be pro-black, but then people be like, you not pro-black because you dated a white woman. He was like, because so I stay in my lane. I don't say nothing. I be quiet. So that's kind of where the boat that I'm in. That like I am all about it, but I'm not about to be like all out here because people are bold and people got their opinions and they're just gonna be like, but you dated a white woman, so how you gonna be blah blah? And then I gotta go to a whole argument. And I was like, I'm gonna stay in my lane.
As if like dating a white person like takes away your experience as a black person.
Right.
That's why I find it so weird.
That's why it's weird.
I've still lived my entire life and will continue to live my entire life as black. So why wouldn't you assume that I'm not pro-black? Sentence was like, you can't be pro-black and date a white person. So like if I dated like an Indian person, like a
right, like another race other than white.
Yeah, like would I still be fine? Like, can I still be pro-black? And it's like, oh well, that's fine.
Right.
So that's why I just find it weird that they just said white people specifically. I guess because white people were the main oppressor.
Right. It was like
as if your kids like won't grow up like half black,
right,
and then still probably get treated like black people.
Right.
Like,
I mean, when somebody says mixed, they're like, oh, he's black or she's black. They don't say, oh, he's mixed, he's white or she's
I
black.
don't see somebody and be like, oh, I don't. My first thought is that they're probably mixed. Even a light skinned person, my first thought is probably black.
I think really the issue with this statement is, for me, if you are a stand-up person and you stand up on your morals and your character, it doesn't matter who you date. And I think a lot of the issue is a lot of people get into, interracial relationships or they date white people and they forget who they are. And if you are pro-black, it doesn't matter if you're dating a black person, a white person, because you can date a white woman and a black woman and still not even be for the cause. So I really think it's up to the person if they stand on their morals or not.
I agree to a certain extent, but personally me, I feel like if you're pro-black, you're pro-black for everything. Like you're for the advancement of the race, you're for businesses, you're for everything black. So it's kind of hard for me to understand how someone can be pro-black and want so much for, the black culture and the black race, and then they're in a relationship with someone that doesn't represent that,
So are you saying that if you are Black and you're pro-Black, you cannot act on attraction to someone from another race?
Personally, I'm not pro-Black, but in my mindset, like I'm saying, if you're pro-Black, you wouldn't.
He's not pro-Black. Hold on. He's not pro-Black. What are you arguing for? Why are you being the devil's advocate? This is your answer. It doesn't even make any sense.
He's the only person on strongly agree. It literally says pro-Black means Black everything. You support business, relationships, this. And then it proceeds to say, I'm not pro-Black.
I'm not pro-Black, but I'm just saying, like, in my mind, but this ain't about you, bro. This is not about you. You don't even represent what you're saying. So why are you even in here? Now you're talking about somebody that you don't even know if that's what they think.
Right, because I was literally about to say, he was talking about relationship. I was like, are you telling me that this man right here, he looks like he's about 26, 27.
All right.
Right? He ain't never been in a relationship with anybody else other than a Black woman. Which, there are people that's like that.
Yeah.
But this is a good looking dude, right?
Like,
and I feel like he has dated a white woman before.
Yeah. Definitely. It's just like, and maybe, and like I said, we don't know. He might not have.
He might not have.
But
the way he sounded right now, at first I was like, maybe he did. But then he says, well, I'm not pro-Black.
I'm not pro-Black.
So what does that mean? You literally just said that you were about the cause, the community, the business, the relationships, everything. Like the investment of your people.
So he's assuming, bro, so he's basically just playing, so he's just playing devil's advocate, just to say like, oh, well, but then that question, I like the question that the other guy asked, because he's just like, so you can't act on attraction, so you can't be attracted to other races, right, and you've never thought about trying to date another race. And then like I understand what he meant by like, he's like, if you date somebody else, like they don't like understand, right, like the full thing, but it's not really for them. Like it's not to the point to where they have to fully understand, right, because they'll never be able to understand, but they can still support, because it's all about still listening and trying to like you know, empathize with the cause. You know what I'm saying? Like you and you know your wife, you're not gonna like grow old together and then like she'd be like, yeah, I done been through the Black issues that I've been married to Marlon. Right. Like she's not gonna say that, but he's gonna be like, I understand like what he been going through if something was to happen. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Just like all of the like the, you know, the George Floyd stuff and all that stuff like that. Like she was scared for me. Right. Because she's like, well, at the time, you know, we were engaged, but she's like, this is my fiance. Like, we're gonna have kids. Hopefully,
somebody she care about. Yeah,
hopefully we can have kids. And they're gonna be mixed, right? They're gonna be Black, right? Part Black, part white. But guess what? They're not gonna be like, oh, you mixed. Like we said, people like, are you mixed? Are you Black? And it's not like they're gonna be like, oh no, you part white. Oh, you good? Like no, like she was scared of the future or what could happen. Yeah. It's not saying she's just like, oh man, you know, I've been through the struggle. She's been through the struggle on her own, in her own race and with her own family. Like people struggle every day. People have different struggles, right? Mm-hmm. All because she don't know the Black struggle, right? Been through the Black struggle, right? She only knows because I tell her, like she's never experienced that. Mm-hmm.
And find someone that's not Black attractive to me. Not saying attractive, but you wouldn't even want to cross.
No, because that face is exactly. I get, and this is another tangent, bro. But that face literally just told me like, it's just one of those situations where I always think when people tell me like they say they don't find like a certain race like attractive, and I'm just like they'll be like, oh no, I couldn't date you know, a Mexican person because I don't find Mexican people attractive. Right. Or I don't find like Asian people attractive or Native American people attractive. I'm just like, what are you talking about? Because every race that I've ever seen has an absolutely beautiful person. I've never looked at a race and been like,
exactly,
I'm not attracted to that.
Like every.
That's so weird. Like, it's so weird to say. Like that you're just not attracted to a certain like the people you may have seen you might not be attracted to.
Right.
But there are absolutely beautiful people in every race. So to say to just like knock out an entire race of people,
cross that line and even engage in a relationship with them. You can have like, you know, like lust, like, hey, you know, she's an attractive white woman, but ideally you want black kids, you want black family, you want your lineage to carry on.
But you're still having black kids though. Oh, because they're not 100% black doesn't mean that they're not. Because the way he makes it,
can he just walk over to the other side? Because he don't even know what the freak he talking about.
Because the way he's making it seem like is that if you're not, if me as a black man did not marry a black, if me and my wife have kids,
right?
My kids aren't black, but they are,
right?
But it's like you know,
oh no, you won't have black kids. Like they're just gonna be white. Like they're gonna grow up white and all.
Like no, they're black.
Look at you with your lighter skin, and I'm sure you still experience the black, like, problems that black people experience.
Right.
I'm like,
carry on.
I don't know. I feel like the question in itself kind of like low-key negates the demographics of the country. I mean, black folks make up 13% of the country, roughly, and a lot of the time we live in concentrations. So, you know what I'm saying? If you in Iowa, it's gonna be a little tough to find you like a black woman, especially somebody that might identify as pro-black with you. So I think it depends on what you do, not who you decide to be with.
My first response to that is like, what's the point of looking at people differently? It's like we get upset that people do it to us in generally, like looking at black people and judging them and stereotyping them and making assumptions about them. It's like, so on the flip side, why should we be doing that to other people regardless of who, you know, they're in a relationship depending on the color of their skin?
I prefer a light-skinned partner to a dark-skinned partner.
Before
that doesn't matter. Just
it doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter.
But see, this is what I be talking about with Jubilee. I just feel like all these questions. I feel like they get questions in and they don't read them. They just be like, "We gonna put these out. We gonna go experience it together."
3, 2, 1, go.
I prefer a light-skinned partner to a dark-skinned partner.
I don't play them colorism games over here.
All right, so the reason why subconsciously for me, the reason why I feel that way is, you know, growing up, I was always, bullied for my skin color. I always felt out of place. You know, I was always told I'm not black enough. And when you constantly hear that and you get beat down with,
first of all, he not black enough?
Who?
I'm sorry.
You're the problem, Mark.
Like he must like. I'm just gonna assume he's talking about the way he acted wasn't black enough because
it's like you really disrespected him.
No,
it's somebody like who him?
Because I've been there, and be like, who not black enough? Like, and maybe I'm sorry.
with that, and you know, you doubt yourself. And like I said, I grew up in a broken home. I grew up in a foster care system, so it took me a long time to figure out myself. And for a lot of times, I don't tell a lot of people this, but I used to hate the way I looked. I was like, I don't like being dark skinned. I want to be light. And I'm just being honest, but now I'm more comfortable with myself.
I guess I have a question. Do you think it's because you look at a potential partner as lighter skinned so that your, potential children or so would be lighter skinned so they don't have to go through what you feel like you went through?
Nah,
this light skin right here, bro.
That's a good question though. Like,
it is.
He's just trying to get to the root of it,
right?
Because like honestly, I want to know too, like why, like you would never like. My thing is, I mean, maybe he'll say it. I'm gonna just let him talk.
At the end of the day, for me, I'll marry whoever I seem fit. So it really doesn't, to me, matter about the skin color. But I will admit, subconsciously, I do think, when I see a light-skinned woman, I actually, look a little longer, or I might linger a little longer, or be a little more interested, just because of, that consciousness that I had growing up. So
I have a question. Like, do you at all feel like you've become the person that bullied you by then having this preference toward lighter-skinned people as opposed to someone that would look like you?
I will admit, yes. I will admit that. And, like I said, we just shooting a realism. So I do agree with that, yeah. And I think that's why now I'm focusing on myself, and, being a part of this discussion is very important for me, because I'm starting to, realize that that prejudice needs to go.
I currently go to therapy. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay,
That's what's up.
We're a little scattered in this
I
one.
like that. I actually like
Me,
that.
my girlfriend's my therapist, but she don't like that. So I'm thinking about going fairly soon just to speak my mind, because I feel like there's a lot of things that, everything's cool up front, but everyone has like something that's just like digging at them somewhat internally that, may hinder them in some sort of way, and I feel like, if you have that type of feeling, like you should go.
Yeah, therapy can be going to the beach or like going out to eat or doing something that relaxes you. So
Physical therapy, going to the
Hold
gym.
hold on.
Yeah, I was like, no, I don't think that's the
not-
therapy
yeah.
that they was talking about. I
Because
don't
it's
think
just
that's
two
it.
different therapies.
Yeah. Like I understand, like he trying to, because that's what he was like. You talking about? Yeah, like I'm not going to a therapist.
Right.
Like
Because it was
like to talk about my mental health, and I feel like that's the question.
Right. Because therapy.
There's a bunch of different therapies.
Right. What she said is just like, that's vacation. Like, clearly, you need to clear your mind, relax, blow up some steam. Yes, that can be therapeutic for you. But
I'm currently go to therapy.
Yes, but when you go home,
everything is real again.
it's real again.
Yeah.
It's
So-
only a temporary, like, man, I don't want to be
Exactly.
here. Let me leave. Or like, man, I'm going through a lot. I need to get away.
Yeah, so that's why I don't think that,
I seen a video of, but the kid basically said, I'm playing video games for my mental health. And then the parents were sitting there like, ain't nothing wrong with you.
Oh, I seen that video on
You see?
TikTok.
He was like,
Yeah.
ain't nothing wrong with you. Like,
Yeah.
God didn't make nothing wrong with
Oh, you need to pray if you got problems, like
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, nah,
It was like, no,
Yeah.
he was like, no, God made you this way for a reason. He ain't gonna mess you up.
Yeah.
You fine. It was like, but no, I really am. It makes God seem like it was like, oh no, he'd make you this way. But all you need is Jesus.
as if he didn't give you all of these options.
My wife is in social work, so like she's a therapist, so she talks to people. They work through things all the time. Like even when we get in arguments, she wants to talk through them, make sure everything is good, and and that's fine. But for her to be like, ain't nothing wrong with you. Like if she telling like kids, ain't nothing wrong with you. Like
Right.
God made you this. God made you this way. He didn't make you. He didn't make you this way for you to have nothing wrong with you. Like you'll be all right.
Yeah. No, that's
Be able to draw a line.
I know what I'm saying. It's open to interpretation. I'm here
Well,
because
yeah.
I took it as like sitting in front of a therapist, someone licensed to do this. Do I do that? No. Do I find other avenues to relieve stress or whatever? Yes.
But you can't
Okay.
mix up self-care with therapy.
Okay,
It's
maybe that's what
two
I'm
different
doing.
things. Yeah. I've been in therapy for quite some time, personal therapy, just for myself, just issues that I have internally that I speak with someone with on a professional level. I recommend therapy. Therapy is literally the best thing you could possibly do.
For me, I find therapy in my faith, and I know there are a lot of people who they look at like, the Christian church specifically and might not adhere to that. But I think in recent years, the church has been adding more professionalism to what therapy means.
Having these conversations, for some reason, it makes you feel like less of a man, because when we talk about therapy, people like, really? You going to therapy? But when you think about it, that's why a lot of people have anger issues. That's why a lot of black men have anger issues, because, they grow up a certain way or they face a lot of challenges and they don't know how to express it. So the first thing they do is they take it out on you or their girlfriend or their mom, and they don't have someone or an outlet to express it. So I think we need to normalize going to therapy and not pushing it off as a white thing. We need it. We need healing, and we need somebody to talk to us.
I think healing trauma.
People think that you need something wrong with you to go to therapy. Like, no, people go to therapy just to get things off their chest and be like, hey, I kind of struggle with this. Or, hey, I just need to talk to somebody. Not saying that you don't have people in your life, but it's different than talking to your best friend and talking to a therapist. Because your best friend is going to be, they're just going to listen and be like, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. And then things might get off, or
unless your best friend happens to be a therapist,
Right.
A licensed therapist,
right.
But then you should probably still go to somebody else.
Right. So it's just,
Yeah.
So, yeah, it doesn't have to be wrong if you go to therapy. But people avoid, like he said, people avoid therapy because it makes men seem weak, or, I'm soft, or, like, and that's why people are so angry. And like I said earlier, when he was like, my mental health, I'm playing video games for that. Like, and then and clearly his family don't listen to him. So clearly, that would make sense of if he was angry and taking out on other people and being aggressive. And it was just like, I don't know what else to do. So
right. Yeah. I always thought, I looked into it because, like, I realized that sometimes even video games, like, I would used to think that video games used to be like a therapy for me. And like even times like like video games don't even help. That's what I was like, I probably need some more help. So I've been looking into it actually just to see.
Is going to help Black people progress instead of just getting more trauma piling on top of each other. And in a lot of ways that does come into an aspect of personal responsibility, because it's like my issues with my dad at a certain point has nothing to do with him anymore. At a certain point, it has to do with me and how I process it. And I have to go from, do I want to get angry every time I'm in the same room as him? Or do I want to be able to walk in the same room as him and not have that reaction? And that was what I processed in my head when I was going through that therapy.
My father was present in my life. 3, 2, 1, go.
Not to jump into this one, like I absolutely love my dad. I'm even getting a little emotional thinking about my dad. My dad's amazing. My dad was there for me in every way, shape, or form, every facet, every way that he could be there for me and more. He was there for me. He was there to pick me up from school. He was there at my soccer games, my track meets. He was my coach for soccer one year. My dad taught me everything that I know almost. He is who I model my personality after. He is who I aspire to be. I don't think I could have had a better father. It's almost why I'm discouraged to have kids, because I feel the pressure to live up to the example that he set for me. So he was there, still is.
I said somewhat disagree because I ended up being put in foster care when I was 6 years old with a couple of my younger brothers. And I remember, I don't remember what my dad looks like, but I do remember he passed away when I was around 7 or 8. So I can't really fault him for that. But, my mom, she was widowed, so she lost her husband, and she decided to take care of us. And I don't think my life would be any different. I don't regret not having a dad, but sometimes I do wonder, secretly, what life would have been like if I had that fatherly figure in my life. And I think that's another stereotype that, Black men don't have their fathers in their life. And it's good to see, a lot of y'all over there.
For me, my dad was not as present as he could have been. He's a typical older Belizean dude. Their culture is just very different from American culture. It's very passive aggressive. I remember times being young and I would question my mom all the time, like, hey, why is he not around? Why is he not there? And, she did the best she could as a single mother. Now I can say my dad is very present in my life. However, I feel like our relationship is very financial based, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like I don't have a real connection with my father. Like, he's there for me if I need something, like if I need to, if I want this, if I want that, he's always there for me, money wise, but I feel like I'm still desiring for that real connection. Like how you mentioned how you have that mental connection with your father. I feel like I don't have that. So that kind of puts a desire into me to where I'm desperate now to be a father. Not desperate, but I'm desperate to be a father, that I want to do it right and give the things and, make sure that I nurture my kid more than just the money aspect of things. I want to be there, and always possible. I kind of feel like now I kind of just suppress it and try to ignore it because he's here now, which I definitely feel like I shouldn't do.
I think that it's never too late to mend a relationship. It's never too late to rewrite the story. I mean, you can't go back in time and change anything, but you can definitely mend the relationship. Because although I have a good relationship with my father, relationships are constant maintenance and they're work. And I know that parents can be toxic too. They can break your heart more than anyone else can. I'm not saying that your dad did. But maybe you should start today. Give him a call, invite him out for a coffee, start somewhere.
Father's Day coming up, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Father's Day coming up, dog.
Hey, Father's Day coming up, dog. My biological father was not in my life.
Mm-hmm. I don't know when you. I'm not laughing because you start laughing.
I was about to say something disrespectful, but my current dad, who I call my dad because he is my dad, And he's done a great job. Great example. I love that man. And so, I mean, I've had a dad, like, always, regardless. So, yeah, it's been dope.
Yeah, my dad's been in my life, you know, and still is in my life. So, and I have a brother and a sister. So, you know, he's always been there. We talk all the time. I actually went over there to have lunch with him and with my mom, like, today. So, he's always been there. And, like, even though, like, the one dude was just saying, like, you know, his connection, like, we not that tight. We tight, but we not, like, but that's, like, a different, you know, they have a different connection. Just like how, you know, daughters and moms have different connections. Stuff like
it's true. Like, me and my dad, whenever we, like, hang out, like, and our relationship grew stronger as I got older because, like, I always knew that, like, I've always felt like growing up, he was really, like, tough on me and my older brother. Mm-hmm. But, like, I mean, even now, I still feel like he was a little too tough sometimes.
So we used to, like, when I was a kid, we used to go, well, I mean, we haven't been to a movie together in a while, but we used to go to movies all the time. And even just growing up, like, he'll get off of work, we'll watch movies. We'll go to movies all the time. Mm-hmm. So we would do a lot of things. We'll go out to breakfast with each other. Mm-hmm. We just hang out. It was just us, like father and son, pretty much. A lot of black boys don't have dads in the house. Yeah. Which is sometimes, like, it's just a circle. Yeah. Because it's like, dad's in jail. Probably something he did.
Or something he didn't do.
Probably something, yeah, that's what I say. Something he did or did do. Yeah. It could be something that he did, like, oh, I'm selling drugs because I have to. Or doing something that is like, I have to do this for my family. Yeah. Goes to jail, kid doesn't have a dad. And then it's just like, now the kid is like, my dad sucked. Yeah. And then maybe they're there for their kids.
Mom's struggling. He see that. He don't really care. He just think that nobody there for him. Right. And yeah, because unfortunately, yeah, I think I get what you're saying. It can be just a cycle.
Yeah, because my grandpa, like my dad's dad, my grandpa, Robert.
My grandpa's also named Robert. All grandpas are named Robert.
he was not. Yeah. He was not there for my grandma. He was gone.
Are all Roberts the same, babe? Hold on. Conspiracy. Hey, if you're black, your grandpa's name is Robert. You see this? Hit us up in the DMs.
Just remember, if you're pro-black and you support all the businesses and everything, you're not pro-black.
Nope. That's crazy. But yeah. All right, then, y'all. We'll see y'all in the next video. See you.